What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tonage Scorpio, with my co host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
This is episode number 51 of the podcast. We've been kind of rolling these out lately. I'm very, very excited.
Yep.
We got some cool things to talk about today, mostly COD. CODNext happened last Thursday, right after the day after the podcast, and then the MW3 beta was over the weekend, and we got to see a little bit of action from that. Later in the episode, we're gonna talk about XDefiant a little bit. There's some news there, and then we're gonna talk about the future at the end. Just so you guys get a little sneak
Mm,
peek on what we're doing today. Um, Anyway, let's just get right into COD next. This is like 20-year anniversary of COD, I believe they
yep.
stated. So, me and COD were the same age. Um,
COD came out. Uh, I think the first COD came out like October 29th, 2003. So like
I'm
here in
older
like
than
a couple
COD.
weeks.
I'm older than COD by like a couple months, minus like the release of COD. Okay, not the actual production. I'm guessing, but
Well, I mean, if you want to go back to the technical production of COD, it started with Medal of Honor because the original Infinity Ward team were making Medal of Honor, and then like they wanted to make something different, but the team that was doing Medal of Honor was like, nah, like we just need to keep making this game,
that's fair.
and so Infinity Ward, the original Infinity Ward guys left, and then made COD.
It's fair. Um, but anyway, so in the COD, I, there was a lot of different creators that went to COD next this year. Uh, there was a lot of controversy over who went, who didn't go. Some people
Hmm.
addressed it, some people didn't. Some people got a little, a little butthurt about it because they wanted to go and they didn't get invited. Like, it's one of those things. It's just like, yeah, it's really cool if you go, but like at the same time, like if
There's
you
some people who
don't,
didn't even want to go.
yeah,
Like
like
Jeff was like, I straight up didn't want to go, like, cause it'd be too much stress.
Like the thing is like everyone wants to go. Everyone has like FOMO. You know what I mean? And then, except for the people that have probably been, and they're like, nah, it's not as cool as you think. You know? Because I mean, you get to play the game, but a lot of
Well,
people.
cause apparently it's like super strict. Cause
Mm,
I heard people making jokes like before the COD Next stream where they were like, oh, you should like hop in like while they're starting the stream, you should hop in and like get some leaked gameplay and put it on Twitter and like people were like, nah, if you try to load up a private match, they will straight up like come over there and be like, nah, don't play
yeah,
it.
they're hella strict, and I'm guessing they all sign like contracts and stuff. It's just there's so much red tape that goes into events like that, and like
Yeah.
and then I mean, you have to play the game for that amount of time. Like, you can't like just be like, oh, this sucks. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
dip.
because the Code Bowl thing was happening after that, they had to they only had like a set amount of time to play. Like they had to be out of there. Like
Hmm.
they had to play their last game and be out of there by 2 Pacific because Code Bowl started.
Yeah. So, um, and then they had to play they couldn't just like do whatever they wanted. They had to like kind of follow the program. Um,
Yeah.
at Optic Blake, who leaked the fucking schedule
Yeah, he did the sketch.
and his go live tweet, man. I love that guy. I love him so much, honestly. But if
Dude, I
that's
forgot about that until you said that. He
yeah,
really did leak the
yeah, he
schedule.
did. That
Like
was funny.
I was looking at the paper and I was like, wait, he's got coffee. I bet that's like a receipt. But no, I looked and it like had all like the times and it was like MP, uh, new mode zombies Warzone. I was like, oh my god, this guy leaked the schedule.
Yeah, he did. I think that's quite hilarious, honestly. Um, but yeah, so like a lot of cool things that they talked about. They're bringing a bunch of back. Oh my god, I can never speak on these podcasts. I can never do it. Like, I can never get the words out in like English properly. Um, so they're bringing back some OG maps from like older COD, from Modern Warfare, the original one. Okay, so before I get into that, here's a rant from being home. Okay,
Oh
a
lord.
Riss has like a 13-year-old younger younger cousin and he's a COD junkie like myself. You know, Deception, he's a lot like you, just 13 years old.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, um, and Riss agrees on that one, by the way. Because I was like, Riss, do you know who Jake reminds me of? Deception. Anyway, but he's 13 years old, so like he hasn't played a lot of the older CODs because they were just out before he was even like born, right?
Yeah.
So he was just like, yeah, they're bringing Saxon from MW19. I'm like, homie, that's not the original game that they're from, man. He's
Dude,
just
but
like,
that's the crazy thing though about them bringing back these MW2 maps is I know they're good because I've
oh
seen
yeah,
them and I played them a little bit, but I didn't play MW2 in its prime and I didn't play that much MW2 period. So like
me
a lot of
either.
these maps are basically new or I've only played them like a couple times. Like I know Rust and High Rise because they've been remade,
Yeah,
but I had never played Skid Row. I had played Favela on Ghosts, but not that much, and I had never played Estate. So
yeah.
like that was like a completely new experience for me. But
I
the
am in the
crazy
same
thing
boat
is
with
I
you.
played those maps like
Mm.
during the beta. I played them like twice, and I felt like I knew them already. Like,
Well, it's because they're good maps, you know. Like that's like the good
dude,
thing
like I
about it.
played Skid Row like once, and the first time I was a little confused, and the second time I was like, okay, I got some of the routes now. Like I kind of get this map. This is nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to see exactly like I haven't played them yet. I watched like a little bit over the weekend. Like I said, I was home over the weekend, so like I didn't really get to play, and my PlayStation probably won't have worked it. And I haven't pre-ordered the game, so I have to get like a beta code somewhere else.
Yeah,
But from what I've seen, I watched Shotzi play it a little bit. I watched Tidge play it a little bit. Um, hashtag optic.
yeah.
Um,
You were watching it when I was telling you about Shotzi saying all that out of
yeah, I
pocket
know.
stuff in the
Well, I
stream.
was watching Hitch before that, and then you started texting me about Shotzi, and I'm like, what? And I gotta
Dude,
pull
Hitch was
this up.
saying out of pocket stuff too, bro. I went in
Yeah.
his stream. I went in his stream after Shotzi
Well,
ended, and
because
he was
Shotzi
talking about
rated Hitch.
yeah, cause I was watching Hitch after Shotzi ended, and like I come in Hitch's stream, and he's talking about how it's hot in his room, and his girlfriend is like talking at the door, like you can't hear her, but you hear him, and he's like, "Can you just like?" He was making like the on his camera, he was making the motion of like a fan blowing air.
Mm.
But like if you had your eyes closed, all you'd hear is he was just like, "Can you just blow me?" I was like, "What?"
Man, gotta love Hitch, man. That guy, he's he's so funny, and he's like one of like they were talking about it on the flycast a couple weeks ago. Sidebar. There's not like a lot of like genuine like creator only creators in
Yeah,
optic. A lot of them are like retired pros, and I kind of
most of
forgot
them.
about that because the only ones are like Hex, Hit, well the old TST, the twins that live out in California that they kept in the
Yeah, but they
merger.
merged over from Envy. Like,
Yeah,
it's not that they're not
Pomage.
Optic; they're just not like a real Optic.
Yeah,
Like,
they're part
and
of
they
op.
don't do content with the rest of them.
Yeah, and then like Pomage now,
Yeah,
but
Pomage.
we'd love Pomage in this
But I
house.
mean, I don't even know if you can call Pomage technically a creator only, because he coached the Optic Dynasty when they went over to Europe to play.
Yeah, but I feel like he was a creator first though. Like he was creator first and foremost, you know?
No, but I mean, I think that whole thing is like since they kind of switched over and they started doing competitive stuff like back in COD in like 2011 and stuff. Um, I think they really focused their efforts more on competitive after that. Like before, they were like mainly like sniping and people making YouTube videos, but I think Hex got the itch for COD and he just started kind of shifting his focus to only getting like pros and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it do you know, you got to do what you got to do and they made good content either way. So, you know, we chilling with that. Anyway,
Yeah,
some modes that are returning to this COD that I feel like are worth noting is the ground war is returning. So those of you
yeah,
people looking
Ground
to
War from
grind,
MW19.
Yeah, those of you that are looking to grind some long shots, that's the place to do it. Personally, I don't
Dude,
like
I
playing
just
ground
hope we
war.
get I hope we get OG Ground War, like the
Yeah.
9v9 10v10 on the 6v6 map
Oh
Ground
no,
War.
no,
That's what I want.
they're releasing new maps for it. It's gonna be like 32, 32 maybe, or like 36, something
I
like that.
played I played it a little bit during the PlayStation beta, but I might play it more when it comes out
Um,
on PC.
but I'm pretty sure
But
that's what they said. I could be wrong. Um,
I think it is 32v32.
I think it might be. It's 30 something v 30 something. And then they're bringing back war mode from World War II.
Dude, I
Um,
need that. That was like my
I
favorite mode in World War II.
Me too. I played it all the
That was
time.
like that was like my favorite thing to do.
War mode and it I don't something about it, man. It was just it was new and it was different, and I really enjoyed it because brought more of an objective to the game, you know,
Yeah, you
like
basically had to play the objective to
mm-hmm,
like do
to
anything.
do anything in the game.
Like you had to play the objective to win. You had to play the objective to keep the other team from winning. Like there
It
was
was
no like I can just go get kills because you could do that, but you also had to like make sure that like you kept an eye on the objective all the time.
yeah, and like the thing is, it's a really good mode for like XP because you have to play the objective, so you're
Yeah, you
automatically
got the
getting
XP
XP.
was crazy in that mode.
Like so that's gonna be I'm probably gonna make a video on it talking about like that mode in and of itself because I want to get an MW3 now that I've kind of
Dude, I
seen it.
hope it's as good as what it was in World War II, and I hope they add like more war maps.
Because
Cause like man,
everyone's saying COD is back. Fucking Modern Warzone. He's saying this is like a top 5 COD of all time. Like that's
if there
some
was no
big
skill-based
talk.
matchmaking, I might possibly agree with
Yeah, skill based. I feel like
him.
skill based English tone. Skill based matchmaking is like what really like dug the whole of COD. You know what I mean? They're not gonna be able to
I
get
don't
out of
know
it.
if I don't know if the devs have like a say in like how strict the skill-based matchmaking is. I would imagine they don't because that's not really them. That's more like Activision and Demonware. But like I don't know, like in Vanguard, I didn't feel like skill-based matchmaking was quite as strong. And I didn't feel like it was quite as strong in the beta either. I mean, we didn't really have the biggest sample size because it was only on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I didn't really ever feel like skill-based matchmaking was kicking in that bad.
We'll see more. You know, is it this weekend or is it next weekend?
This weekend,
This weekend is
it starts
this.
tomorrow.
Oh well, tomorrow starts the beta on
Tomorrow is weekend
the
two.
PC, Xbox, all the other platforms. So we'll see a
Yep.
little bit more people playing it. They'll probably get more information on what needs to change and like all that cool stuff. So and they've
I
been
think
very
today
like
they're gonna
open.
release an article about it because they
Yeah.
said that they were gonna address some stuff, and I mean, since the weekend's starting tomorrow, they need to. I guess they'll post it today.
Yeah, at some point. I mean they've been pretty open about the communication aspect, and I feel like that's very important when it comes to games and developers, especially like today's day and age, where it's so easy to be open about these kinds of things. Um, I mean, we live in
Sledgehammer
the
does a fantastic job.
I mean,
Uh,
we live in the age of social media. Like you post something and people
yeah.
see it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, back in the day, like 10 years ago, maybe not as many people would see it, but now it's
Back in the day, COD didn't even patch their games more than like a
no.
couple times.
Yeah, now it's like once a week. Um, so that's kind of cool. I'm really excited for that War Mode to come back out. I think I'll probably be grinding that,
Dude, I'm gonna
and
try it day one for
um,
sure.
so I might have to just buy the game. Honestly, I've been kind of putting it off, but I might just have to. Um,
I mean, I played the beta. I can tell you that like it was fun. It really was fun. I mean, I even got a pretty good clip from the beta. Like it was a good time. Even though it was on PlayStation, it did feel a little weird. I think it'll
mhm,
feel a lot better on PC.
probably.
Um, I had fun. Like it was like the first time since like the very beginning of MW2 when we were in the honeymoon phase that I didn't want to stop playing the game.
That's fair. Um, but so kind of segueing off multiplayer a little bit and the beta, zombies is returning, which I feel like is very hype. They're doing more. They're doing the bigger map again, kind of like
It's like
Outbreak.
DMZ but zombies.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you can exville, um, and it's gonna be like you go in, you can get things. You know, say you drop in with squad. I think who did I think Nameless was talking about this on the stream. If my
There's
memory serves me right.
there's 4 squads of 6. You can have up to 24 people
Yeah,
drop in.
so you just drop in and you can just like load up Eggsville and then like you can have all that stuff going into the next one.
Yeah, you keep your perks. You keep your like if you even if you have like a pack a punch gun, you'll keep that.
Yep. So
If
I feel
you have
like
a
that's pretty
wonder
cool.
weapon, you'll keep that. Like
I'll probably be grinding that one too. Honest, bro, I gotta get this game, dude. Fuck. Man.
the thing is like I I don't know for sure how like the longevity of that mode will be,
But
but
it'll be fun.
I am excited a little bit for it because I think it's what not only is Treyarch working on it, I think it's what they wanted Outbreak to be,
Mm-hmm.
but they
But didn't
couldn't
get to get
execute
there.
on it.
Yeah.
And now they are, and now they're able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's a whole camo grind for it.
Oh shoot, okay.
I was hoping that they would have a zombies camo grind for this, and they do.
So Deception, it looks like you and I are playing some zombies then, huh? Grinding some zombies. Yeah,
I
bring it
would be
back.
down.
Bring it back.
I mean, we have over 100 guns to get camos for.
Yeah, it's true. Oh my god, there's so many guns. Oh,
Yeah, because you can get camos on the MW2 guns too.
oh shit. All right, all right.
I'm also very like that's something I don't think a lot of people have been talking about since the beta or since like a few weeks ago when they last updated that for us. But I just I'm very intrigued as to what they're gonna do about putting the MW2 stuff in MW3 because I've heard that they've like rebalanced all the MW2 guns to fit in MW3,
Mm-hmm.
so they're not like overpowered or underpowered. But like, I guess we just won't know until it comes out.
It's true.
I just
Um.
hope that like, especially for camo grinders, I hope that they like make a playlist or something where you can only use MW3 guns, because I know there are gonna be some tryhards that like everybody else has got their level 1 MW3 guns trying to level them up, and like some tryhard is running around with his maxed out Vaznev just destroying people.
Probably. I mean, I think they would. I think it would be smart if they would, but this is COD we're talking about, so
I don't know. Sledgehammer is really good about putting playlists in that we want and giving us like unique playlists, so I could see him doing that.
that's true. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm very excited to do that. One thing that I think is pretty cool that they're bringing back Rebirth Island and Warzone, which I'm super excited about.
And
Um,
Fortune's Keep.
and Fortune's Keep. So two.
And on top of that, this is not confirmed. And I don't think they'll say anything about it. I think they'll just drop it on us. Like they did the first Warzone. But there's a rumor that on March 10th of next year, when the anniversary of Warzone happens, that Verdansk is coming back.
Bro, I sure hope so, dude. I miss Verdansk. It's on Call of Duty Mobile. Um, Verdansk
Verdansk
is.
and a Rebirth
And
are on Call
Rebirth
of
on
Duty
yeah.
Mobile already.
So I might have to play Call of Duty Mobile just to get my freaking fix. You know what I'm
I saw
saying?
some gameplay of it. It didn't look half bad on
No, it looks
Warzone
pretty good,
Mobile.
especially for like mobile like gaming. Like that's
Dude, the
pretty.
fact that the new iPhone can run like AAA games is
That's
is
sick.
crazy.
Yeah. Um.
You're gonna see like the next COD be advertised for iPhone, like, bruh.
Yeah. Literally, it's gonna be honestly. So I don't know. What? So like, let me ask you this deception. What are your expectations going into this next Call of Duty? Like going into Modern Warfare 3, like what do you expect to see in this game, get out of it? Like what
Well, I mean, I'll touch on it more later, but like, since I'll be playing a lot of XDefiant as well,
Mm-hmm.
I would say my expectations have been like not severely down, but a lot lower than they have been in recent years. And I think that's a combination of XDefiant and how much we got burned with MW2.
That's fair.
But I also think that like that was a good thing because while I was like super excited to play when it actually came time for the beta, I hadn't really like thought about it. Like I wasn't in that like hype cycle that a lot of people have for COD. So like it was like I wasn't really in my head at all. And then boom, like I'm excited to play it when it comes. Um, I think that was actually a good thing because I got on MW3 like not like pessimistic about it, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this game's gonna be amazing. Like I just hopped on and tried it, and it turned out to be really fun. Like I had a really good time. Like like the movement's really nice. They're gonna address this anyways, but the one of the weird things about the movement is like there's like a weird like half second delay or something like that when you
I think they
fly
talked about
cancel.
that in like a tweet
Um,
or something.
yeah, they said they're gonna address it. Like I hope that was like a bug and they remove it because it wasn't in the build that they played at CODNext and it looked really nice. Um, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It's just some gunfights could get hurt by that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wasn't the worst thing in the world though. Um, the player visibility is kind of low. Like especially in like dark corners, it's like super hard to see. There was a bunch of times on the in the PlayStation beta where I would like run right in a room and some guy would start shooting at me and I had no idea he was in there. But they said they were gonna address that too. Um, but like as far as like the good things, like the movements are really nice. Honestly, like I know like because I know like people might not have the exact same opinion because some people really like MW19's movement, but I think this movement might be better once they dial it in. I think this movement might be better. Like I honestly felt better playing with it than I did in MW19. But time to kill is really good. Um, I would say sometimes time to kill is a little too slow,
Mm-hmm.
but I would rather time to kill be too slow than too fast. Um, so that doesn't bother me. But overall, time to kill is very nice. And I think it honestly benefits me because XDefiant has like a slower time to kill, and this time to kill is like very close to XDefiant. It might be like a little bit faster, but it's super close.
Okay. Okay.
Um, they actually, if you want to compare it to another COD, there were some people doing some rough testing, and they said it's like right on par with Cold War's time to kill.
All right.
So,
All right.
um,
I vibe with
I mean,
that.
I don't have to say anything about the maps. The maps are good. Like
Yeah.
we knew that. The only thing is, Favela plays kind of weird with this movement system. Like I don't know if that's gonna be like the best map with the way the movement is and all that, and people flying across roofs and stuff. Um, Estate. I don't know why they put Estate in the beta. Like that's a cool map and all, but bruh, Estate. Ugh, that map, the way it, like the way people play it in like TDM and stuff, it's just awful. But like the objective modes weren't too bad. But I mean, we got Rust, and every time you play Rust, that's a blast. So
Rust is always a good time.
Rust's great. I loved playing Rust. They actually did a really good job with it. It looks nicer than it did in MW19. Um, when they remade it for that. All the guns are the only thing about the guns is like people are really attracted to the meta and like the two best guns hands down are the MCW, which is like the ACR, and the Striker, which is the UMP. It's a
Okay.
little bit different than the MW version, the MW19 version, but I think it's better. because the MW19 Striker kind of sucked. Um, but those are the two meta guns. I would say the Rival, which is like a Scorpion, is pretty good. It's not as good as the Striker, but I liked using it. The guns overall are good. They're very different. Like that's the thing about this game is like these guns are so different. Like there's like it's the variety's not really there yet because we don't have all the guns in our hands, but like all these guns are very different from what we used in MW19 and MW2, which is nice. The only thing I will say is I hope they add some actual sniper rifles because the two snipers that we got are basically just marksman rifles that one hit kill people. Like there's a semi-auto sniper rifle that looks like an FAL with a scope on it, and there's a bolt action rifle that like fires super fast, and it looks like an AK because it has like a 25 round mag by default. It's like
What the fuck?
it looks like an AK. It has a scope and it's a bolt action, but it
But
fires like as fast as the Outlaw from
what?
BO4.
What? Yeah, I heard there wasn't any
It's
like
weird.
bold action like snipers, and I was just
That's
like,
the only bolt action one, but it's barely bolt action. It bolts so fast.
yeah, I need like a car. Give me the car back. I love me some
But
car.
that's what I'm saying is like I hope they add some actual sniper rifles because like these look like freaking ARs or battle rifles that have scopes on them and they can one shot people. I will say though that like I picked up the semi-auto one a couple times and I like it.
That's good.
That semi-auto one's pretty cool. I like it. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
But I mean, there's the one thing I will tell you, and I don't know if this is because they were already working off like the MW2 engine and basically just adapting to that, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe they didn't have as hard of a time with this or whatever. But there was not a single time that my game crashed. There's not a single time that I lagged out of a game. I barely had any lag in game, like frame drops or lag spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was probably the most like I only played for the last two like open days, so maybe like the first couple days were worse. But like that was like the most like clean, like bug free, crash free beta I've played.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think a lot of people have talked about that, but like maybe they had different experiences than me, or maybe the first couple days were pretty bad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guess we'll find out when we switch to PC and stuff, and there's a lot more people. But like, I didn't have a lot of the typical like beta bugs, or like, oh, I can play a game, but my game crashes every time and stuff like that.
Well, that's good. Um, I don't know, man, dude. Once I pay my freaking, so I'm selling my car right now, right? Like I'm in the process of selling
Yeah,
my car, and then once I get paid from that, I'm gonna pay off like the rest of my like tuition stuff, like for school, and then all the money I make for the rest of the year, I just have to pay my phone bill, and then save up money for next semester. But means I have money for COD, and I'm very excited for that because
I pre-ordered it like the day before CODNext.
well, the thing is like I've been like kind of like hesitant, you know what I mean? Like I want to see it and I want to see how it does, but after watching CODNext and people play it all weekend, and then this podcast, like the amount of video ideas that I have for this game is freaking through the roof, and that's good for me because I need like that's just like going into this game like I can already like feel the the grind. You know what I mean? Like I can feel
Like I said, the
I
only thing that I
want to
think hold
play.
this game back is skill-based matchmaking and like any sort of like bugs or whatever that could
But
happen.
they have zombies, so like I could just do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you could do zombies.
and then they'll have Rebirth Island, which I actually like love and adore. Um,
Dude, that's what I told Wyatt and Cash. I was like, especially if, definitely like when those maps come back, and especially if Verdansk comes back, it might be hard for us to play XDefiant a lot because we might have to split our time.
yeah, but I mean, like they're similar games, and so in a way, you'd still be playing. It's just like a different font. You know what I mean? In certain ways, if they're really similar, you know.
Dude, because I know like you didn't play a whole lot of Fortune's Keep or probably any of it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
but I mean, me and Wyatt and Cash, we got down with that map. That was a fun map.
Yeah, I'll have to. I saw people play it for sure, but I was like, that was a time of
We
my
had
life
so
where I was
much
like
fun on that map.
really busy with other things that gaming kind of was on the back burner. But now, gaming's back up front. Okay, gaming's back on the front burner. All right. Um, but I mean, I feel like this is kind of nice. It's it'll be an interesting few months because XDefiant Zombies is the only mode that I'm questionable on. That's the one I'm most excited on burner. Like that's the one that I'm like most intrigued about is the zombies
I'm
because
intrigued about it, but I'm gonna do the same thing as what I did with the base game of MW3. I'm gonna go in with like no
yep.
expectations because if I go in being like, oh, this is classic Treyarch zombies, they're gonna put round based in here and all that. Like, I'm not gonna
No,
have fun.
no. I'm not because like I'm not going into it like I went into Vanguard because Vanguard
I have to
zombies
think
was
of it like Outbreak. If I think of it
absolutely
like
like
Outbreak, I'll be happy. And I
yeah.
always said that like Outbreak solo was like pretty boring, but Outbreak, if you had like a bunch of people to play with, was actually fun.
Oh
So
yeah, the first time I played Outbreak, it was with like three other people and we had a blast. So I feel like if we just keep doing, if I just do
yeah,
that with
playing
this one,
Outbreak solo is boring as heck,
mm-hmm,
but like you play Outbreak with at least one other person, and especially like a full squad. Like
mm-hmm.
we got like 6 people in there playing like MW3 zombies. I feel like we'd have a
Oh,
blast.
I can guarantee all on the same Discord, all of us streaming. Like I feel like that would be like so much
Yeah,
fun.
I feel like we'd have a great time.
Like even if the game is kind of shit, like just the fact that you play with your friends, like that's like the whole like basis of Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like some of the best moments you have in Call of Duty is when you're like gaming with other people, and just like
True.
every game in general for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so with XDefiant being delayed even longer, um, I feel like it'll be easier to get into COD, and I feel like if they delay it further back, um, like then the honeymoon phase
Thing
of
is, I just
COD,
don't know how long they're gonna delay it.
yeah, because it either needs to come out before COD or it needs to come out like after the honeymoon phase of Call of Duty, because there's always that
Yeah, like
honeymoon phase.
I don't know how long they'll delay it, or if they still want to get it out. But I feel like it has to be in their minds that they gotta watch out for God.
Yeah.
Even if they don't really care about competing with God, they probably gotta think about that. And it's like I've still heard that October 28th date is like floating around.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like they either gotta release it then or like wait till 2024.
Yeah, because like
Because if they release it like in November or December,
it's
like
gonna
I
be
don't know what's gonna
overshadowed.
happen.
Because like if you think about it this way, like this is the way that I've been kind of like thinking about it, right? Because there's always those few first few months where everyone's grinding Call of Duty, right? It's
Yeah,
all they play. They're trying to get guns gold, trying to level up, trying to do this, do that, get used to the game, right? And then
yeah.
Christmas rolls around, all the Christmas noobs come in, they're doing the same thing, right? But as the new year rolls around, usually COD dies off a little bit off of that like original release hype, and either people start getting frustrated with the game and they stop playing it, or they just kind of do all the things that they want to do because like there's a lot of like speedrunners, I guess you could say, in Call of Duty, where they just like get through the levels and get through all the challenges as fast as they possibly can because like that's like their form of content. So I feel like a lot of people kind of just like do that and then they move on, right? So if X Defiant waits until after that period of like intense grinding that comes with Call of Duty, then all those people that are like, damn, all right, what's next? What's after COD? Because like now I can't really play COD because there's nothing to really work for. They release this new game where there's a bunch more stuff to work for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the timing really is important because um, I, they really have to consider like Call of Duty because it is their biggest competitor in this scene, and the way that their game does off the jump will pretty much dictate the way that it does going forward, unless like they get a little bit of like once COD finally dies down towards like the off
Yeah.
season, like then they'll get it, but that's a long time to wait for hype around a game, you know.
I would say that they if they really like if they're really looking looking for the game to succeed, the best time they should drop is probably like February or something like that of 2024, because it's like if you drop it like if they dropped it like the 28th, like there's a chance that it would still thrive and be good, because that would be before COD, but COD would be coming out like 2 weeks after, so like you'd have to worry about that. And
Hmm.
then like if they dropped it like February, like when people are starting to get tired of COD, then it's like people will be looking for something else, and then boom, XDefiant's out. You
Well,
know.
Burner says XDefiant almost needs to be a Titanfall 2 situation. They need to challenge COD head on to force the team to be more hands on with fixing issues and cause actual competition. That's fair, but I feel like COD has COD has a lot of like money and hype behind it. You know, this is a new game that they need to like do what they need to do, you know.
I don't know. The only thing about that
First,
though
what's
is
up,
like
kitten?
Titanfall 2 came out when like 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like the same time as Infinite Warfare. Like
But
we're
Infinite Warfare was kind of
comparing
like a shit game.
Titanfall 2 coming out during Infinite Warfare 2 to like this game coming out during MW3. Like yeah, like the XDefiant and MW3 are way less similar than Titanfall 2 and Infinite Warfare, but people did not like Infinite Warfare. Like, I'm sure that they were happy to go to Titanfall 2 when it came out. But the thing is like, there's so many, especially casual people, that are gonna be hyped for this Modern Warfare 3 game
Mm-hmm.
that like they probably wouldn't even think about
Especially
XDefiant.
with all the hype on on Twitter about it, like everyone's saying that COD is back, COD is back, COD is back, you know, and that you know it gives us like hope, you know, because we've had so many bad Call of Duties in the past couple years that it's just like you need like the fact that they're saying that Call of Duty is back, that you know you can play the game and have that same amazing serotonin boost that you
Yeah,
got, you know, however many years ago or with whatever COD. Like that's really exciting to people, and that's something that I mean I want that. That's like something that's being like, oh okay, you know, there's still people like complaining about it and like, but you
I
know,
think this year was basically do or die for COD,
yeah, like
and they did a good job.
they either had to you know make a good COD or the game is gonna like you know just kind of die
If they
or
just redid MW2 or did MW2 for another year and didn't put out a game this year, I feel like COD would be in a very bad spot. And Sledgehammer looks to be turning it around a little bit, which is nice.
yeah. But I mean, probably back for like 2 months. Teehee. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you know everyone's gonna kind of ride that you know COD high again, but it's gonna fall
Yep.
off. So I feel like if X Defiant releases, you know, after that COD high is like dies off a little, then they'll have more success. Because people will be like, well, COD's kind of like you know they're not really changing anything, game getting stale, you know, and they're like, okay, what's the next, you know? Because like that's just kind of like how people are, you know, these days they need constant something new, something exciting, and I feel like XDefiant will provide that. Blops 2 remastered, I agree 100%. We need a Black Ops 2
That's
remastered.
2025.
It is? Like confirmed or like rumored?
The rumor is that they're gonna do the same thing they did this year with MW3, but they're gonna do it with whatever the new Treyarch game is, and Raven is gonna make a new game that's based around the Treyarch game, but all the Black Ops 2 maps.
I love Black Ops 2 so much. It's my favorite.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see. I think it would be probably beneficial for XDefiant to do something like Titanfall, like the first game, because the first Titanfall came out in March of 2014, when
Mm-hmm.
like people when Ghosts had already been out for like 6 months, and like a lot of people hopped on that game because it was new. Um, it was made by a team of developers that we knew could make good games. Um, and people enjoyed it when it was out. And that's basically the same thing as XDefiant. Like XDefiant is a new game. It's made by a team of devs that we have seen do good work on
Mm-hmm.
COD. We know they can make good games. and if they release it at the right time, it could pop off.
That's what yeah. Um, but yeah, Burner said Titanfall 2 died fast to EA releasing Battlefield 1. COD is in a state where competition could reignite the series. That's true. I mean, like they would have to, there hasn't really been that many like games that kind of can go toe to toe with Call of Duty, but now that they've kind of like lulled a little bit and they're just in like how they do the game in general, like the XDefiant could be that game that just like brings Call of Duty back up or just kind of like because everyone's saying this would be a COD killer, like especially like over the summer, everyone's like, "Oh, this is the COD killer," and I feel like that kind of like I think that kind of like lit a little fire under Call of Duty's butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so the COD was like, "Damn, we really got to step up our game, or this will be our like downfall." And I feel like this is all speculation. I don't know if any of this is true, but um, this is just me theorizing. Okay, this is a theory. Um, but I feel like that they kind of were like, okay, so we really have to like do good, or like they're all gonna go over to XDefiant. We're not gonna have a game anymore. I do finally like Warzone now. It took years to get there. That's fair. Um,
The hard thing for me, I think, with XDefiant is I have to look through it. I have to look at it through a different lens because, like, for me, like, I don't care when it releases. I don't care if COD releases at the same time. I don't care how long COD's been out. Like, I'm gonna be excited for XDefiant and I'm gonna play it,
yeah.
no matter what.
Well, you've been playing
But I have to
XDefiant
think
since the
about it
beginning.
from like the people that like have never played the game. Like,
It's true. I mean, I played the game once and I love it, but we also have some other things that we're working on with the game that like the XDefiant it holds a little bit more power for us than Call of Duty does, and the lower scheme of things, just as smaller creators and such.
well, especially for me because I mean I played like
You've played it,
basically every playable build of XDefiant.
yeah. You every iteration of the game that has been able to be
Like,
played, you've played it pretty much. Um.
yeah,
So anyway, kind of like
played it for over 2 years at this point.
that's true, but I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much all I have to really say on XDefiant and COD. Like it's it's one of those things we're just gonna have to like sit here, wait and see, and just kind of hope for the best.
The only
Um.
thing is, like, I'm kind of sad that XDefiant isn't releasing like the day after the COD beta because
Yeah.
my thought was like, oh, COD beta's over, then I'll play XDefiant. I'll have
Yeah.
XDefiant until COD comes out, and then I'll split my time between the two of them a little bit.
Yeah.
And like that's not gonna happen now. Now
No.
I'm gonna have to like
Well,
figure out what to do.
I'd rather them, like put out a good game than you do what Call of Duty does every year and just like, you know.
That is true, and that's what they keep saying.
I think it's only newer gen consoles. I don't think that's all I believe this for. I have no idea, Ken. I do not know anything. That's all deception on that one. Um, but I just how did I describe it the other week? Deception just says things and I just elaborate on stuff that I don't know about. I'm just like, yeah, here's my 2 cents.
True.
And Deception gives the other 98 cents to give the dollar, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
X Defiant. I think X Defiant's gonna come out on PS4 and Xbox One, but they haven't done any tests for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're planning to launch on those consoles. I think they might like I think maybe it'll come out for like season one on those consoles or something like that. I don't think they've ever done a test on the old gen consoles.
Um, so, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the future is indeed looking pretty good. I feel like that should segue
Yep.
into our last topic of the podcast. Future of just like all of us. Me, Deception, the podcast, Denial Gaming, the whole nine. Deception. Let's see here. Uh, where should we start? Like, what do you want to start with talking about the future of?
I mean, you I think have a lot of stuff you want to do.
That's true. Um, with like with denial with our older gen consoles haters. Fair enough. every new game is an older gen console hater, and I say that as someone who has an older gen console. So
Dude, at this point, like it's been like 4 years since the PS5 came out. If Treyarch doesn't drop their game and it's only on next gen consoles and PC, they're making a mistake. Because I know there's like a lot of people that play the older gen consoles, but at this point, the older gen consoles are just holding these games back because
that's
they have
fair.
to scale them down for those games.
That's fair. I understand that, but at the same time, I don't have the money for a PS5. This in this economy, come on, come on. Anyway, anywho, I'm gonna talk about denial first because like I mean you can kind of weigh on in it.
Yeah.
So those of you guys that don't know, I am a co-owner of Denial Gaming. We have some cool things going on. We just hit 500 followers on Twitter. Let's go, let's go,
Yes.
let's go. I've been kind of like working on that the past like year now, honestly, on and off. But this past couple months, I've really like put my all into it, and it's really paying off. We've been really just trying to be in everybody's faces. I did find one of my old notebooks last night when I went home, and it was. Remember when we used to sit in those like spaces, like Twitter spaces?
Yeah.
I have all. I That's where all the notes. That's where all those notes are in that notebook. And I looked through them last night. And I was like, these are some good things. So I'm gonna start like applying them, again. Um, just like to denial and myself. It's kind of ooh,
Yep.
congrats, thank you, Ken. I appreciate you. Um, but we're working on some cool things. Since this is like my podcast and my org, I can say whatever I want, and it's not leaking. So
Not
unless
anymore.
not anymore. Except for the one thing that Deception and I have talked about that it will definitely be a leak if I do say something about it. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, we can't leak that yet.
But I've been working on our website. It's a work in progress. It's looking pretty good. Still trying to figure out some like graphic things. I have pretty much I have pretty much laid out what I want where and how I want it. It's more of just like executing it, which takes a lot of time. And then because I have to like make all the graphics, make sure they fit, make sure they look good
Yeah.
with everything else. The roster page, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just making sure I get everybody, get all the stuff, and yeah, I have I just have the idea in my head of how I want it, and I want to get too close to that idea as possible because I know like over time I can just keep like upgrading it and stuff like that. But is it free? Is it free Scooby snacks? Oh, I wish I had Scooby snacks. I love Scooby snacks. Um, but I would love to give away free Scooby snacks. It's on my list of things to do. Um, but and then also something kind of new in development. We're working on getting some merchandise. Um, that is I'm not gonna like say who we're working with or like what it's gonna look like, but let's just say you guys are gonna have some denial merch coming your way probably by the end of the year. Um, Most definitely by the end of the year. I want it by the end of the year. That's the goal. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be you're gonna be like, oh my god, Tone, you are so cool. That is awesome, and I want one. I'll be like, yeah, and they're gonna be affordable. They're not gonna be like this overpriced BS that's going around. Like, we don't got the money for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not the the thing is
People
like
making you pay 70 or $80 for jerseys.
yeah, literally, and it's like one of the goals of denial is just to like like equality, and it extends more than just like you know gender, race. It also comes with like social backgrounds. Like not everybody has the money to spend $80 on a jersey,
Yeah.
um, because like hype for real. Not everybody has that money to spend on a jersey or a T-shirt or whatever. So we want affordable prices. So you guys can rep denial and we can rep denial and yeah it's gonna be quite I want to do it the way that I've always wanted to do it. Back in raw there's one of the benefits of being an owner now and having the creative freedom that I have is I can do all the things that I wanted to do back then that I couldn't because I didn't get enough votes on. So
Yep.
now I can just do them, and it's really exciting because some of these ideas are pretty cool. Um, so be on the lookout for that. There'll be like a photo shoot type deal. It'll probably just end up being me and Riss, but you know Riss is gorgeous, so they're like already a model. You know what I mean? Um, and then
Chris
there's
is like, I got you.
Riss is I love them. I love them so much. We just posted our engagement photos. We got them back last night. We got
Yep.
the remainder of them back last night, and they just are amazing. I got a discount on my gym membership because everything is too dang expensive. That's what I'm saying. I guess I can't do this expensive stuff. I can't do it. Um, but we're gonna, and in the denial, we're working on some bringing some creators in, kind of expanding our family a little bit. We're relatively small right now, less than like 10 people, I think, that I have
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
rostered.
yeah, yeah.
But our goal is to, you know, grow. We're not gonna grow super fast because I feel like there's a lot of uh when you grow super fast like that, there's a lot of room for error in like who you're bringing in, um, not being ready for said growth. More like
Yeah.
Riz. Yo, Riz is the original Riz, okay?
True.
Uh,
Riz has
um,
had Riz as a Twitter name for
it's
like
for like 2 years
literally
now.
like a year
2 years,
before Riz became like
yeah,
a
a thing.
term.
Yeah, so Riz is the original Riz. Um, but yeah, so guys, we got a lot of stuff planned for denial. I guess this is kind of like a little like whatever, but our Discord's going live tomorrow, so we can start bringing in more people. Like I said, I don't want to grow unless we're ready for said growth in certain capacities.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, obviously, we're never going to be really ready for growth, but there's certain things that we can prepare for and prevent bad things happening.
Nobody's ever ready to blow up.
No, but we're I'm making it so when these things happen, we have these things in place to make it so we're more prepared than we were before.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now growth is going to be pretty minuscule, but we have these things in place just so everybody's on the same page and nobody does things that hurt each other because we're all about you know making this gaming place a better place. Um, so yeah, so it's kind of all on the denial front that I can really talk about right now. Like I said on this podcast, I want to share as much as I can when it comes to those things because that's a whole climb together aspect of like the podcast. Like, you know, not gatekeeping secrets, but there's certain things that I want to kind of keep under wraps. But I will talk about them after they're announced. You know what I mean? So there's still that like transparency, but like we can still keep that level of like hype um, that is needed. I feel like in the gaming world. Um, as far as the podcast goes, you guys are listening to right now. Um, working on getting the kind of ties into like me like rebooting my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. Um,
Yep.
I am doing my damnedest to get these podcasts back out to you. I will be uploading 2 a week going forward, starting next week. Um, so it'll be every Monday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. The podcast will be uploaded to YouTube until we're caught up. I will do my best to stay on top of the podcasts that we do going forward. So they're just there, ready to go. So when we get caught up to that point, you know, they're already done. It's not like double work or anything. So you guys will be able to have all those available at least on YouTube. I have to wait until I sell my car to renew the subscription for the site that we use to get it onto like Spotify and stuff like that. But like it'll be available on YouTube, and I feel like that's like very important. So like you can go back through and everything. Um, I don't know, like Deception and I have been kind of talking about it. We're wanting to get more guests on here. So if you're listening at whatever point and you want to maybe be a guest on the Climb Together podcast, shoot us a DM on either Discord, Twitter. Yeah, we'll figure something out, you know. It's kind of hard to get guests on our podcast because we do it at noon on Wednesdays, and usually people work like 9 to 5s or something along those lines, so they're not really available. But
We could always record it and stream the recording.
yeah, that's true. So we never really we can figure something out. All right, we can figure something out. But anyway, what was I saying? But yeah, so we're and I think we're gonna keep kind of like graphics the same. I'm really vibing with the graphics that I've done. Um,
Yeah.
this 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 revamp, I guess you could call it. I think they kind of fit the vibe a little bit better than the
Yeah.
other ones. I mean, that's just like my constant goal is just to keep improving these graphics over time. If I see something I like, hop on it. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know, Deception. Before I get into my YouTube rant, what about you? Anything with the podcast, denial, your channel, your
Well, I mean, some things I can't say, but
yeah. Well, obviously, say the things you can say though.
I'm really excited for COD and XDefiant, obviously. Um, I think like, I think those two games will be super fun, but at some point, like, um, at some point, like, I'm looking to get some better equipment and stuff. At some point, I want to start doing YouTube videos. Um, and probably TikToks and stuff too. But I want to start doing that, especially when XDefiant comes out, because I think that'll be a really good opportunity uh, for that. Um, I mean, I can't really say a lot of stuff as far as denial goes, but I think it's gonna be a fun few months.
Oh yeah. What are you looking to do on YouTube? Like um are you gonna be just like gameplay, montages, tip videos? What kind of
Probably
vibe?
stuff like
All
that.
the
Like
all the above?
I'll definitely make a lot of stuff on XDefiant, but I can see myself doing COD stuff too, like posting gameplays or like if I find if I find a class that's really good, posting class videos. Um, I don't really know about montages that much because I don't know. Outside of like, if it's not a sniping montage, I don't think it'd do that great.
Mhm.
I could try to snipe, but uh, I feel like I'm not half bad at sniping, so maybe I could try that. But I really want to do that kind of stuff. Um, I don't know. I've like, I definitely like want to do like, especially like gameplays, or like highlights at least.
Mhm.
Highlights would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, doing like maybe not a montage, but more like just like stream highlights videos
Mhm.
would be pretty good. That sounds pretty fun to me. But mainly it'd probably be mainly COD and XDefiant.
So are you looking like when are you looking like what's your time frame? Like when are you looking to start? Um
I honestly don't know. I would hope that it would be like sometime shortly after when COD drops and before XDefiant.
okay. Oh, that's what I
That's
like
what
to
I'm
hear.
hoping
That's
for.
what I like to hear. So
Maybe before COD drops, we'll
keep you
see.
guys, keep you guys' ears and eyes peeled for some, Deception YouTube. We've been all waiting for it. Me specifically. Um,
You specifically.
yeah, I'm very excited for some Deception YouTube. Um, but I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you do with a new platform. I feel like COD being the way that it is and X Defiant coming. I feel like that's gonna really bring back your creative juices. Okay, I feel like that's what's
I
coming for
hope
you.
so.
Me too, man. Cause man, listen, my creative juices they have been flowing. flowing, 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 right? So, for those of you guys that don't know, I took a little break from YouTube because, I just took a break from like everything, But YouTube is where I started on my content creation journey back when I was like 8 or 9, with
Yeah.
like Lego videos, which have since been deleted from the internet, just so y'all are aware. But there are some old Minecraft videos from like when I was like 10 or 12, so those, on the other hand, have not been deleted. They've just been privated. So, but so I have some like ideas. I have two channels. I have my main channel, which is pretty much FPS based, and then my secondary channel, which is Minecraft, exclusively. And I've been back on the Minecraft kick, man. I don't know what happened. One day I just like came back from therapy and I was like, I want to play Minecraft. And now I'm hooked again, man. And let me tell you,
Oh Lord.
I got some ideas, bro. Like I have you remember, I don't know if you ever watched it, but I have this top 5 thing that I did for top 5 starter houses. And that video was probably one of my better performing videos on YouTube. Um and I kind of like went in and I kind of like explained how long it took to build, how much materials you needed to build it, because like these are things that are missing in these tutorials. Um, and I kind of just like made a video about that and then like
Yeah,
rated
people
them
always like show you
how
like
to build it, but they don't.
builds and stuff, but then they don't show you what they did or like how much stuff they
Yeah,
used.
and a lot of work goes into these videos. Okay, just so you guys know, I first off build the build in creative, right? That's what I do. I build the build in creative, and then I tear it down with like a silk touch pickaxe. Okay. So I know how much material I used. And then I put it all in a chest. And then I
Yeah.
duplicate it. And then I go into survival and I time how long it takes me to build it. And I'm like an average builder. Like I'm not great, but I don't like suck. You know what I mean? Like I'm like the average like person as far as when it comes to following tutorials and doing builds and stuff like that. So then I time how long it takes for me to build it. And then I do that for 5 different tutorials after watching 10 or so tutorials on like which ones I feel like are the best. And then I get a bunch of B-roll of each build, and then I go through and do a voiceover, and then I rate them all. And it's a lot of
Mm.
work that goes in these videos, but I feel like it performed really well. Like it had like over 50 views, which on my channel is quite a lot. It's like about like usually I get like anywhere from like 1 to 10, usually like 10 on the high end, 2 to 3 on the usual, maybe 5 if I'm lucky. So that one did really really well, so I'm looking to start that again. I have a couple different tutorials sections that I'm thinking about doing. They do take a little bit longer to do, so it's something I just kind of like do over time, and once I finish all that, because I just like play and I do like all like the building and and then eventually I'm like, okay, cool. I've done all the research part of it, and I'll do all the recording, and then um, yeah. So and then I've been working on some like builds. Like I said, I've been back into Minecraft, and I played after therapy, so I just kind of like zone out and just like build stuff or like tear stuff down and then build stuff. Um, so I'm thinking about doing those, and then a couple like one-off videos. Um, that I've been thinking about doing. They're just like 100 days challenges are pretty big on the Minecraft YouTube right now.
Yeah.
So I have one or two of those that excuse me, that I'm thinking about doing. I'm not gonna tell you what because they're my own spins of it, so y'all can't know. Um, and then I am. Do you guys remember when I did the Rust on YouTube?
I think so.
Where I kind of like just played Rust and then I made like a TV show out of it. But it
I
was
don't think I
pretty
ever seen that.
crappy. Look it up. It's on my YouTube. Okay. Here, I'll put it in my chat. Okay. But anyway, while I
Oh
look
Lord.
this up, I'll keep. Uh, actually, I could probably just pull it up on the screen. But So anyway, so I'm thinking about doing something like that, but just like better because like the quality of these were pretty not good. Um, I mean they were decent. I mean like there was still like a story to them and everything, but I only did 3 episodes
Mm.
because but they're like pretty mediocre. Quality's
Yeah.
pretty bad. But they did pretty good. I mean, this one has 28 views. Um, so I had like an intro to it, and then um, I did a little talking. I'm not gonna do that this time around. I'm just gonna get in and play. I'm not gonna have a face cam because I don't do face cam on my second channel. Um, out of like, it's one of those things like I don't want to have to like, because sometimes that's what holds me back from doing videos is the face cam aspect.
Yeah.
So this one I can just like it's when I'm not feeling like doing an actual like video with like face cam and everything, like I can just play. And so it just has me
Yeah.
playing the game. This is probably like a couple out like this is probably like half an hour of me playing or so. And then I really didn't have an objective. This was just me starting the game. But with the Minecraft seasons, season content, um, so pretty much just gonna be like I'm just gonna like sit down and play. Like have like an end goal in mind of that like play session. It's gonna be like a few hours. Like, it's gonna be like 5 hours playing. So it could be like 1 or 2 sessions. But I have this goal in mind, and then when I meet that goal, the season's over. So then I edit that down into episodes. It'll have like a last time on whatever season, like whatever show it is, and then do a like at the end do like a next time or like next week, and then I'm gonna finish all the finish all the videos like in like once and then upload them. So
Yes.
it's just like I get it done and then I can work on other things while those videos are constantly uploading, and that way I won't miss one. It'll be every week. Um, and then like the performance of the season will determine if I do another one. Um, so that's kind of cool. So and because like I want to do that instead of like like let's plays, where they just kind of like play the game and then you know I feel like that's a very much it's a very different way of taking it on, and I like it that way. It's not gonna be super scripted. It's gonna have like a guide, I guess, of like what I want to do in that season. It's not gonna be scripted though. I'm just kind of gonna like let what happens, but I'm gonna have a kind of like a notes of like, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what I kind of like want to accomplish, and then the creative, like content entertainment aspect is what's gonna come naturally. It's not gonna be like scripted. I'm like, I'm gonna go 2 blocks left and meet a creeper. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be that um
Yeah.
what's it called, improvisational aspect of it, but nothing too crazy. And that'll be just kind of the season content would be the most like continuous things, and then like the top 5 series, the
Yeah.
build tours, and the one-offs we'll kind of just throw into that, and those will be 3 videos a week is my goal. I'm going to start out with just the one, and then kind of like start with the season content, do that first, and then kind of work on these other videos and fill them in as
Yeah.
time goes on. So like 2 videos a week probably, um, and then like keep going with the season content, and then like once one season is over, I could either start the second season for it, or I could start a season of another thing. So while I'm working on the second season, there's still content going out, so it's not just like the same thing, and it makes people more excited for when it comes back. I don't really know how I'm gonna do that yet. I'm gonna wait and see
Yeah.
how much work this takes. And then with my main channel, all right, I talked about this earlier. Podcast twice a week till I'm caught up, and then um, that's gonna start next week. And then I'm gonna start doing some like Valorant videos until COD comes out. Then once COD comes out, I'm gonna do some COD videos and or XDefiant videos, whichever one comes first. Probably COD, but with the way things are looking. And then once I'm caught up on podcasts, every Monday will be a Valorant video because I'm on my team's Valorant, my school's Valorant team. So I've been playing a lot of that, so might as well make some videos on it. And then Cotter, XDefiant videos on Fridays, depending on like the vibe I'm in. You know what I mean? And then, you know, if I decide to just do XDefiant COD, then I can just kick Valorant to the curb. um, but yeah. And I've got so many, bro. I've got so many different ideas for videos. It is, and I just keep adding them. So keep it, guys. Keep your eyes on my YouTube, okay? Because this the Rust. It's coming back in Minecraft form on my second channel. All right. Maybe I could do the Rust again, just like season 2, and make it better. Maybe that. Oh, I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna write that down now that I said that out loud. I want to remember that. That's actually a really good idea.
You gotta write it down.
The Rust, season 2. Okay. Because I'd still have Rust. Like it's still a fun game to play. And I feel like once I do it with Minecraft again, I feel like I'll be better suited to do it with Rust. But
I've
anyway,
seen
that's
people
all.
play Rust. Rust is fun.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Anyway, that's all I really have to talk about today. I know that was a lot, but
Yeah.
that podcast was an hour and 10 minutes. Good thing we started
Yeah,
early.
it's been a minute. I told you we should have started early. I
We
knew it was a
did.
good idea.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast. This has been episode number 51. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe, do all the things for the podcast, so we can keep doing it. Well, I mean, we're still gonna keep doing it every week, but you know, share it, do what you gotta do. We got a lot of things coming. Very excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next week. Peace.